Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop till like 6 in the morning. Come break it down.
What's up,
What's
Daniel?
up, though?
What you doing?
What's up, Daniel-san?
Chilling. I'm relaxing.
El
I'm
Danilo.
taking in the
Relaxing?
Sunday. Taking in the Sunday
Good
rays.
Sunday. Easy on a Sunday morning.
I
Or
thought you were gonna say
Mhm.
taking in the sun.
what's wrong with the little sun? You need a little vitamin D3, bro. It's perfect for you. That shit does make a difference. I went to
Gives you boners?
I didn't because I was in Eureka and it's cloudy over there and I wasn't going outside really and it was gloomy, you know. And it felt not like when Julie says it's a sunny day, Theo.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went outside for a walk and the sun hit me and I felt a little different. It was weird. Like I felt like more awake. I mean, I'm sure the air had helped too, but
Gives you energy.
yeah, it does.
Oh, Daniel. What you been up to, Daniel?
No, Tani.
Yeah, I saw you went to
Wrapping
those
up.
Mexico MMA fights.
Was those
Oh,
Thai fights
yeah,
or
dude.
the MMA fights?
There are MMA fights. There's different ranges of type of fighting, like Muay Thai, and then there's kickboxing,
Oh, okay.
and then
'cause I
and
saw
then
some-
after that, there's MMA.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
not all MMA. I think some MMA fights they had like the shin guard too, but there was like a few. There was only 2 fights that didn't have any gear. Like they were completely like the only thing they had was the gloves, and they were good. They got
okay.
bloody. They got bloody, and I was a bit shocked, you know, because they got pretty bloody at one point, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" I looked around and I was like, "Yeah, everybody's enjoying this shit,
Bunch of
dude."
barbarians, huh?
Yeah, everybody's
wrong with
sitting
y'all,
here
huh?
fucking enjoying this shit, and I was because it kind of I was like, "Damn." Like if I kind of felt like it made me feel some type of way to see all the blood and then to see the guy's reaction, but to see little kids around, you know, that they're like chilling there, I was like, damn, because you could see. All right, there was two occasions where they took them to the ground, and their eye kind of, you could see the hole in there with the when it's just full of blood. You know those cuts that you just immediately see a leak, like a pool of blood, and
That's
then
a little deep cut.
I just saw, and I was like, damn, dude. I was like, whoa, where's the doctors didn't even rush in or nothing, man. They were just like took their time to go in there. I was like, what the fuck? And
Let's go get a beer, huh?
yeah, and eventually they cleaned them up, and then the guy that had just fought had all this blood on him, and then like why they wiped him off, and then he went and go kiss his girlfriend after. I was just sitting there like, oh, what the hell, dude? Who knows what that guy had? I don't know. I just feel like that was nasty.
Did she Hep C or what?
It looked gruesome. Yeah.
Hep C with a TB.
They should test them. I know
Yeah.
professional. They test them. I don't know backyard brawls, but
yeah.
It wasn't a
And the whole
backyard
time
brawl.
I was just
kind of sponsored.
the whole time I was just thinking like, damn, what if one of these fighters had like something on his gloves, like, you know, and I wonder how that works in other leagues.
What do you mean, like something illegal or what?
Yeah,
What are you talking
like
about?
having something illegal in your
Well, remember
your gloves.
remember Margarito got caught. Remember Antonio Margarito? He got caught.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
using
saying.
it.
If they do it at
Well, it
those
happens, I'm
professional
sure.
levels, I'm
But
like, damn, dude.
No, I think those.
well, those fights they're supposed to check up too.
Yeah, but and then those gloves are they're way smaller, so you can't really. I mean, you gotta be really fucking good to hide something in there. But
Yeah, you can feel them. They
Yeah,
have
but
people
who
that
knows?
go in
Who
there.
knows what kind of money is being bet? I
Easy.
don't know. I think get all these thoughts, man. I'm like, who knows who's
You
betting
get
these monies and
all 007 or what? They're gonna drop a little
Yeah,
cyanide on
when
the
just
fucking tip of the glove. He's gonna hit him and like, like
I
a
don't
movie.
think those backyard brawls are getting much bets. Daniel, you'll be all right.
I'm sure they are.
no.
Some
I'm
good
not
money
saying. I'm
going
not
on,
saying. I
legal
mean,
ones.
I just think in the mind of a criminal, what I want to do and how do I want to wash
Yeah.
my money.
Damn, bro. It's it's supposed to be professional, bro.
Did
Was that
you
your
start
first MMA fight?
Ubering? Yeah.
Oh,
That I
me?
go to.
Oh, yeah. I just started. When was it? On Friday, I started. I really didn't hit the the EDC scene. I heard from last year it was the whole the ride share. It was a shit show to get in and out. So, and then for what they were offering me, because you can deny or you can accept rides, and they were offering you, they it wasn't even that high. So I'd be stuck over there for about an hour, and it was it wouldn't be worth it. But there was some interesting trips. Yesterday I picked up my first trip. There was some gay dudes. Those fools are funny. Those are cool as hell and shit. They wanted me to party with them. I was like, no, I gotta.
Oh my boy.
No, no. Hey. Aren't you getting picky with us? Like, no, I gotta work.
Hey,
I appreciate the offer, but no.
Sir, can you take your shirt off while you
He's
drive?
like, hey,
No,
turn.
no.
Hey, he said,
No, yeah.
he said, turn that meter off. Turn that meter off and show what's up.
No, they wouldn't. And they didn't say it once. They said it more than once. So I was
So
like,
can we pay you with some cocktails?
No, like
What?
I tell my wife, I'm all set. Yeah, so that was fucking that was cool and shit. And I dropped them off, of course, at a gay club, just And then I got another ride where I didn't even know they had a gala right here at the Green Valley Rancher at the casino. They had a gala there for the Raiders, actually.
What the fuck is a gala?
They raise money. I don't even know what a gala is, to be honest, but I think they raise money for different things, different charities, or different companies. Or different companies donate, and then they sell the merchandise or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so I picked up some folks at the Green Valley Ranch, and they were all dressed up. And I asked them, what's going on? You guys go to a wedding? And that's when they told me that. So that was cool. And then they started just talking about tits and freaking.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. Because it was this one guy. I guess he was a gay friend of the girl that I was giving a ride to, and they just started talking about tits, all of a sudden, and I was like, oh, how do you like them? And I started asking me. I was like, well, it's kind of a personal question, but since you asked,
How do you like them?
I'll oblige, and I told her and stuff, and it was cool, and it was interesting, and then I just picked up a regular, not just because you don't just pick up just regular partiers, people that are from out of town. You pick up people that work, get out late, and there was this one guy. He got out of work, and he said that he hardly missed. Well, he told me that he never missed work, and I was like, "Fuck, that's surprising," because I was fucking.
What do you mean he never missed work?
Like he never called in sick to work.
This guy.
Well, maybe he was lying.
Sound like a loser.
No, because
Just kidding. Go ahead.
No, because I told him like, hey, when I was in construction, I was in the union. I would literally show up to the job site, and then I would talk to my girlfriend at the time. And she'd tell me, hey, just come home. Don't go to work. And I would text my foreman, hey, I'm not going and shit. But that's allowed as long as, you might get laid off a little bit earlier when the time comes of laying off people. Obviously, you don't show up. But they're cool about it. As long as you let them know, they'll let you miss. So, but yeah, just, and then people, but no, from what I've noticed too, Vegas is it's nice, bro. They got restaurants everywhere. They're fucking everywhere. And there's always bars are everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's always I've been probably all the way to the four corners of Las Vegas already, just from driving around, which is cool. Mm. And so they have an arts district and a market district, and it's nicely decorated, and it doesn't look like ghetto either. There's ghetto parts.
Yeah.
I haven't gone over there. I haven't gone to North Las Vegas, Danny. I haven't gone Ubered out there. I don't plan to either.
Yeah. No, what for?
No. As long as you stay in this area, to be honest, you're plenty busy. And if you want to go obviously to the touristy part, to the strip, then you're gonna get obviously more. But even there, in the casinos and stuff, it's a shit show. It's fucking
it is.
You have the taxis and the Ubers fighting each other, and then the regular traffic, foot traffic. So it was cool. It's good. It's good. I was actually really nervous the first time because I recently I became more of a, I wouldn't say hermit, but more what do you call it?
Homebody?
Yeah, homebody. So I've been indoors a lot, but now I'm getting out there, and it's good to just talk to people, and it makes you actually, this guy thanked me yesterday. I had a conversation with him. I dropped them off at they're going to things like one of those, putter golf places, and we actually talked about our dads. Mm. We had similar situations, how how he was not there and this and that, and we were just kind of giving each other advice. And he was younger than me, obviously. And so it was good talking to someone like that and kind of relate to them. And he even told me when he got off, he was like, it's a great conversation, man. I appreciate that. So that felt cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That felt cool.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. How many rides do you do in one night?
It depends. Because sometimes you'll get a ride. You'll pick up a ride that's 2 minutes away. And then their distance might be 15 minutes away to where they're going. Or sometimes you might have to pick up somebody that's 15 minutes away and then they're 15 minutes. So it just depends on
Oh, okay.
You know, on the at the time of day too, because if you especially during rush hour, you're stuck in the freeway, so you might not get as much rides as well.
Oh yeah.
So it just depends on the time. Usually, I'm kind of figuring it out little by little. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
there's obviously peak times, and there's times where it's pretty dead. I have both Lyft and Uber, and I can toggle through both at the same time, which is cool. I just gotta kind of figure it out because if you don't cancel right away, you'll get double booked.
You got? Did
The-
you get any weirdos?
No, not any.
No?
I just there was
Not-
this one
not
guy.
yet?
He was a little quiet, but I think he was just tired. People just it was Friday. He looked like he had a fucking rough day. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't hold it against people. So,
Lost all his money at the casino.
Nah, I picked him up at a business place, like an industrial plaza type.
Shit, that'll do it to you, huh?
Yeah. So, but no, weirdos. Everybody's pretty much been cool. Talked to a couple of drunk dudes, talking about their past, and they started talking about pussy and how hairier it was back then, and he's
good
talking about the
lord.
different smells. I was like, what the
Back
fuck,
in
bro?
the
I was like,
70s or what?
yeah, and it's like, I told him, what the fuck kind of pussy were you eating, bro? But there, before I said that, like the conversation where it had already gotten there, it's not like I just blurted it out. So,
Yeah.
and I kind of read the audience, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
of
talk about,
course.
inappropriate stuff with, some people, other people. So, but they were so cool. And then
That's funny.
those fucks they were partying since like 3:40. I picked them up at Vamped, which is like a hard rock bar. And then they were talking about the chicks in there. Well, I don't know. They had conflicting stories. One was like, I didn't see no chicks, and they're like, yeah, they were all over the place. So I don't fucking know. One of them was blind or what the fuck.
The place was crawling with chicks.
Yeah, supposedly, or maybe not. Well, no, it was certainly packed. And then they had been partying since they were there since like fucking 3, and it was already
3 in the afternoon.
and then it was already 10. I mean, which is a long time. And then I dropped them off. I thought I was dropping them off at a hotel. No, I dropped them off at another bar. And then like, all right, have a good night. And they were cool.
We're torn up, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That sounds
another
funny.
thing I had to I got to figure out the airport situation at the Uber because I got lost. I don't know where you have to go exactly because there's a designated spot.
Yeah.
And I got lost. And I kept going around and around. I couldn't fucking find it, dude. And I had to cancel the ride on the person. I just messaged them. You know what? I'm new to this, but fuck, I've been there before. I couldn't fucking find it.
If you pick someone up
Yeah, there was
where
no
you're not
signs?
supposed to, they fine you.
Yeah, or they
Yeah.
they tell you, move, you know what I mean? No, they have signs that say rideshare, but it's on level. I know it's on level 2, but there's 2 ways to get on level 2. The first way you get in, I rolled down the window and actually asked the guy, hey, where can I get the rideshare? And me mandó la verga. He's fucking said, he said, no, this is valet.
That's not what I asked you, sir.
But no, there was traffic behind me. I was gonna fucking stand there and have a whole conversation. It's like fuck. So I kept going and I went in the wrong place. And I went around twice and I fucked up. You know what? Fuck this ride. So I
That shit
canceled
just
it.
canceled.
So I'm gonna go beforehand and
Check it out.
survey the area and
Go
get
for a
off
little
on
cruise.
go for a little cruise, and then I'll be there anyway. So fuck.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing. A good thing to do. That's cool though, because you meet a lot of different people. You get to hear a lot of different stories.
Yeah.
A lot of different situations. You need to put like a fucking Three Brothers podcast sticker in the back seat or something.
Definitely.
Yeah, come on, be smart,
no
bro. Be
fucking-
smart.
Yeah, that's
I barely got my camera system, man.
Promotion.
Don't
Yeah,
you?
I told this fool he went like his first day without a camera. I'm like, hell no, you can't be doing that shit without no camera.
I went yesterday too without it too.
See
I'm gonna put it on today.
some scary ass videos where dudes get fucking
And Uber's on stuff? Lyft? They get what? They get fucking
they get robbed and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why are like they think they have money on them, but they really don't because it's all through cards, Oh,
But I think it's the area.
Yeah.
There's got to be some, some judgment on your part that to
Yeah.
Uber. I mean, it's kind of fucked up to say, but some parts are just bad, and you don't want to take that risk. I mean, it depends on the person. Some people just don't give a fuck, and that might happen. But some people just, like me, I'm a little vigilant. Like North Las Vegas, don't get me wrong, love you folks out there, but it's a little rough.
Like,
But you know what I mean?
yeah, it is. You
But I
just
hear
gotta
you.
be careful. You gotta
Mhm.
watch out.
Mhm.
Daniel, you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the Uber and about the designated
Oh,
areas
Oh,
because one time I needed to get an Uber, my phone was gonna die, and I needed to get back, and it was like I couldn't for the life of me I couldn't find the fucking designated area for the Uber, so I'm like I can
Yeah,
only
because some of
imagine
them are
what it
tricky.
is.
Some of them are super tricky. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, I was and then the walk in the casino, I'm like, dude, never again, bro.
Oh, you're in the
Fuck all
casino.
this shit. Yeah, I was like,
bro,
fuck
yeah,
all
some of
this
those are fucking
shit, dude.
horrible. They've gotten
Fuck
better.
this
They've gotten
shit.
better,
Yeah.
certainly.
Was it
I
on the
was like-
wedding night?
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
shit
yeah.
was terrible.
Yeah.
Using
I was
your
like, yeah,
fucking
dude.
naughty, bro.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, so
You
I
are a
was thinking
character,
about
my good man.
the lines that you have to make. Fuck that. And then I'm sure there are not some people aren't tipping. You know?
Nah, you know what? No, nobody's tipping
Yeah,
really,
how is
bro.
that? How's it tipping?
No.
You know what? That's crazy because
And-
the other day, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, just this one person, this one couple. They were from Maine. They were super cool.
Oh, man.
Older couple. They couldn't really. I felt bad for them because I don't want. I dropped them super close because they're like, man, our legs hurt. They're like, our legs hurt all the time. Like, gee, I was thinking in my mind, what are you folks doing in Vegas? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Is it-
yeah, they're the only ones that tip me. Sorry to go off track there, but yeah, what were you gonna say, bro?
You can't see, they don't tip you ahead of
Oh, I'm
time?
sorry. No, I got tipped on the card on the app too. I'm sorry. I think twice. Yeah, so 3 times
Yeah,
maybe.
so it
But
takes-
cash, I thought you were. I was thinking mostly cash. No.
Oh, yeah. Cash is rare nowadays.
Yeah,
But no, the
it's
other
just
day we had
easier.
Yeah.
the other day
It's
we had
easier to do it through
we
the
ordered
app.
pizza from Domino's.
Mhm.
And it was an old guy. He had to be like 80, maybe 70s, you know? Like
What?
old. Yeah, he was
Aw,
old.
That's fucking sad.
Yeah, and I was, and I was already gonna give $10 tip,
Yeah.
which isn't much, it's not crazy, but for a $30 pizza, it's decent.
Right.
So I open the door and I see him, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, sorry, I took a little bit, but I got your pizza," and I drop it off, and I give him the $10, and he looks at it, and he's like, "Oh man, thank you. This is the most I've gotten today." And I'm like, yeah, like people, yeah, people don't really tip. And I was like, what? So then I came inside and I closed the door and I tell Dom there's an old man out there. He had to be like 70 or 80, got excited at the tip. She's like, oh, she starts crying. She's like, I want to give him more. I'm like, babe, he left. You ain't just gonna run out there and give him cash. Leave him alone. But yeah, man, I don't know what Vegas is. It used to be a fucking tip central back in the day, valets. Everything was about tipping, and now it's people are playing shiesty. And I know we're in a recession, but like if you don't got it to order it, then don't order it, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
eat in or whatever.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
But you got to give something. You cannot give nothing, because these delivery. I mean, it's hard driving out here and looking for places and shit, and doing that shit, especially when you're 80 years old. I mean, they got no
Yep.
retirement plan. That's basically why they're doing it.
He
The
worked
government,
until
like
he
Danny
was-
says, the government fucking screwed you over.
I got a little teary eyed. I'm not fucking lie right now, bro, because that's one thing I hate, bro. Or I don't hate it, but it's fucking sad to see when you see old folks working. It's cool, but that they're probably working because of necessity. Of course,
Yeah.
there's older folks that work because they want to feel functional, and that actually that helps with longevity, so they don't fucking die. Because a lot of people when they feel they become useless, they just fucking give up and die. So and that sucks, So to hear that story, I mean, so yeah, especially when people don't tip, and I think a lot of it's Vegas has gotten greedy, man. Fucking resort fees have gone up. The buffets are fucking. And I even remember when Vegas it was about the buffet. You go and it was $10 and shit. $12. Fucking you stuff yourself down and you play. And that was the shows are the more inexpensive. Now the fucking shows the games aren't even not even giving out. So. And then I've noticed that even when we came back to Vegas too, like when we went to the strip like a couple times, and I gave the guy a tip, and he's like, and it was just $5, dude. I was like, what the fuck? What I mean?
Their eyes opened up.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
geez. I mean, so yeah, but I definitely agree with you. If you can't go out, hey, just stay home. And I know it's good to get out, but I mean, come
Yeah.
on. There's people that need to survive as well too. Not just us.
People that get off on like since they aren't morally obligated to do that, I guess people are pretty. I guess it's like fucking returning the cart at the store, like.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like they put that little, they
Don't
put
start
that
me
pressure
those
on you.
motherfuckers.
They put
Yeah.
that pressure on you that you can give it the effort if you want, but you're not obligated to. So people are like, well, if I could have that, I don't know,
Yeah.
that
And
extra
I
service.
get that. Yeah, and I get there's different scenarios, right? Like I get some people, they want tips for everything. Like, like you go into
Oh yeah,
say
They
you
give
go
you a
into
drink.
a Subway yeah, you go into a Subway or something, you know, and you order a sandwich, and then make your sandwich, and then on the screen it says tip. Like, I get that. Like, I don't even feel like I should give them a tip at that point because they're kind of just
They're
like
just
right
making a
there.
sandwich.
Yeah,
It's his job.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your job is to make a sandwich, right? Like somebody's job at Walmart is to ring you up at the cashier. You ain't gonna give them a tip, right?
No.
Similar situation. I get that, and like now everybody's asking for tips, so I get it's like a, you know, they don't even do much. They got the little tip cup right there. Like, okay, relax, you know. But you know, if they go out of their way, you know, a server, you know, has to run 10 tables at a time, fucking running left and right. You're asking for soda, you're asking for refills, you're asking for this, you're asking for that, you know, like fuck.
My sister
Yeah.
soda every 5 minutes.
Yeah, my
Just
sister.
kidding.
Take care of them, you know. It is what it is, but you know, I think we just got to change as humanity.
No, you know what? I think it's fucking it's the fact that you know, like you said, like you're paying for something in Walmart, that's their job. But when you're going to, you know, somebody's waiting on you or providing you a service, you
Yeah.
know, of that nature, you're essentially, you know, too lazy to do that yourself, or you don't have the means to do it yourself, so you're going somewhere to get that service. So that's why that means more. You know, they're providing their time, you know, and their energy to make you feel as home as possible without being home. You know, what I mean, getting that cooked meal. So that's why I feel definitely they deserve tips.
Yeah. And one thing I hate is when I was telling Dom about this because we were talking about the old guy, and I was like, one thing that crushes me is when you see old people, not say old people, we'll say older people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say older people, you know, past 70 or something, you know, walking in 100-degree weather, pushing a cart with their groceries in it, you know, just sweating up a storm, you know, like walking towards their house. And I'm like, you know, I get some people don't have family, but I think some people do have family. And I don't know where or what went wrong, but take care of your grandma, you know, take care of your mom. Like, what's going on in the world, you know? Like, I see that shit and it just breaks me that these people are doing that shit and nobody's like, hey, like, you know, nah, wait, I'll give you a ride later, you know? We'll go together, you know. People get so busy in their fucking lives that they forget about their grandmas and their moms that gave them everything, you know. And that shit really irks me when I see older people like that walking or going to the bus, you know, and they have their fucking hands full of groceries. And you see that a lot of Mexicali too, you know, through the border, taking the buses, you know, sweating their asses off, no AC, you know. That shit just irks me, bro. I don't know why.
And those are probably the ladies that they give the most to the family and everything. Those are the ones that take the nice ones. They're always taking advantage of. That's why, you know, it's good to be nice and all, but at some point you have to learn how to, you know, cut it and say no because people will take advantage of you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Have to suck your world. Daniel, what's up?
Danny.
You ready to graduate or what?
Hell yeah, bro.
Hey, look at this fool.
This fool with honors, huh? Smoking honors, huh?
Smoking.
Literally and figuratively, yeah, bro.
Honors.
Proud of you, bro. Good man.
I feel good. I feel that it's
You're a man of a few words today, huh?
it's a bit it's been a bit hectic. It's been a bit hectic, and with the ending projects, and then I guess it's a different
projects?
experience. Yeah, I have to go research an organization about a social organization, which is the neighborhood house, the Calexico neighborhood house, and it's a woman's haven. And so they offer preschool for families who can't afford it or at a fixed price, so that you can leave your kid there, and you could leave your kid either part-time or full-time. And so I had to call the place, and you know, I'm getting all this wrapped up, so it's been hectic. And then just having to be on point with dates, because there's a lot of important dates where I'm the one that has to send my my transcripts. I'm the one that's manually doing all this stuff, and the counselor is guiding me, but I only see the counselor 3 times, you know. So it gets hectic. It gets hectic on trying to. You don't want to miss a date, or you want to make sure that you register the classes. So I think I'm on point with that. So I think I've just had a lot of things on my mind about that, because I feel that I'm going into an area where I'm not used to, and that gives me a lot of anxiety. That gives me a lot of anxiety. So I just try to
what aren't you used to? What is it? The
do
scheduling every day?
no,
The
no, no,
what
not
do
the
you?
scheduling. Just making sure that I fill forms out correctly when I'm doing financial
Yeah,
aid on my behalf to make sure I put all that. I'm literate.
Because you have
When,
deadlines, right?
yeah, I have deadlines for a
And
lot
if
of things. So, and it seems like, it gets like bottleneck. It gets like bottleneck at the end of the semester where it's just like over here you have a lot of time and then all the time starts crunching up. And so to make
okay,
sure to hit all have to make sure to I'm just changing the way I live by using my reminders on my phone, a lot for most things. So as long as I
trying to
keep
my mom.
Ana
reminders,
Silva está, bro.
yeah,
There you
I
go. That's
have
what's up
to.
right there, bro.
I have
Hell
to.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have to. I
Shout out
have
to
to.
Ana
If
Silva.
not, I'm fucking missing. I'm missing. And I can't miss. There's
It's
some
good.
shit that I absolutely can't miss. I could miss a doctor's appointment
yeah,
and they'll reschedule me, but some things is like I'm going to have to talk to someone behind a computer somewhere and then tell them and explain
Yeah.
my story like 10 different times before I even get something done when it comes to the academic stuff. So,
yeah,
um, but I've been that's what I've been doing. I've just been trying to
Bless
get out because sometimes I get the feeling where I feel a void. I
yeah,
feel a void creeping up, and then like the other day I was sitting down and I was thinking a lot about Solomon the king, and I felt like that. It was a man who had a lot of riches and he had a lot of plots of land and he read a lot of books and had a lot of wisdom, and at the end of the day it all meant nothing, you know and there's a
hmm
lot of times where it feels nothing, where nothing satisfies me, not another game,
Excuse me.
not another not another woman, not another thing to do, not another, like nothing will ever fulfill me. And it comes again to the spirituality and to meaning. And because I was devaluing myself by comparing myself, I compare myself a lot. And it I compared myself so much to the extent that it just made me start to shut down and feel nothing, because I
yeah,
guess my body, I feel this when my body gets a lot of pressure from a lot of places. I just end up shutting down, and then the void becomes more and more pronounced, and then to the point where I start having the existential dread. Like I stop finding meaning in things, and that's like a red point, because I'm so used to finding meaning in substances. I'm used to finding meaning in a night with a certain substance, and so when all the things that I resort to stop fulfilling me or stop, um I I start to feel the sense of purpose, and the sense of purpose starts to get questioned more and more. And the sense of purpose is a scary thing, because what do you want to devote your life to for the rest of your life? It's scary, and it scares me a lot because I'm investing my time in a lot of things, whether it be relationships, whether it be my academic career, and my time to either get employment or recreational things. And so you start thinking about forever, and it starts, or a whole lifetime, and I start getting anxious, and so I start to shut
yeah,
down like that. And so I feel like you have a lot of things coming I have a lot of things coming flying by me. I feel like I'm going light speed through a lifetime. And you got things flying by you, like marriages, people graduating, people dying, people being born, and it's just all
yeah,
flying, like sometimes I feel like it's just flying by me, and it makes me really anxious to see everything changing while I'm going. And it seems like like if I'm slow motion and I'm walking and everything's changing with every step that I take, and I can feel it. And sometimes that feeling of everything changing makes me anxious because I don't know where it's going, you know? But I'm learning to enjoy where it's all going and enjoy it a lot more, because that's the tricky part, is to enjoy it all changing, because it's always going to change. No matter, even if you're sad, you're going to change, and if you're happy, things are going to change, and that's part of it. And so with all of this graduating, it just puts it all into perspective on how time can fly, because talked to
hmm
my friends. They're like, oh shit, you're graduating already. Yeah, dude. And you could see the look in people's faces that, like, yes, they're happy for you, but time is flying by. and it's a constant reminder. Like, you don't have to wait for people to die. You can find that reminder that time is passing, and that way you could live in the now better, which is what I struggle in, you know? Because sometimes I feel like I'm catapulting myself to the future way too much. So I gotta like tune
just
myself out of the future and the past, and kind of
just
zone myself
take
in.
it day by day.
Yeah.
Slow it
Yeah.
down.
You know what? That's crazy, bro. That's exactly how I feel right now. Like that, like you said, I'm trying to live more in the now. Because before I was trying to fucking figure, hey, what about 5 years? What the future? The future, what am I gonna have this career? Am I gonna have this house? Am I gonna have this and that? So now I'm trying to live in the now, and in the process of now and doing whatever I'm doing now, do it to the full, and then the fruits of those labors will come out later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all we can do is take it, day by day. You can't think too much in the future because then you'll start getting your head fucked up. And
But
I'm an overthinker, but I think you're worse overthinker. I think you have maybe something in your brain that makes you put these scenarios of where
And
am I
then-
going to be 5 years from now. Go ahead.
and then you go back to the question of what does it all mean? Because that's what my mind goes into. What does it all mean? Every action that I'm taking, yes, I'm trying to be a psychologist. Yes, I'm trying to be this, or yes, I'm trying to be that. But if you look at the grander scale of things, you're like, you start questioning, why does it all matter? You know? And that's something that I've always struggled for a while. And like I said, purpose is scary, but it going back to what I was saying, it goes back to the question about spirituality and having your version of God or someone stronger than you, so that you don't have to worry about all of these things that might be crushing that might be heavy on the human, psyche, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it all goes back to God for me, and what I do, why I live, you know? And it makes my existence less bearable when I think of a God or something external than me. And there's no way I can avoid it. You know, that's what makes me sleep good at night. Is that there's something stronger than me, and all knowing than me. So I don't have to worry. All I have to do is just do my grain of sand, and take my grain of sand that's a part of the bigger picture.
Just live for Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in all these scenarios of stuff passing you by, like weddings, graduations, and all that stuff. Just take every day by what's in front of you. It took me a long time to realize, and I still struggle. Like, Ivan also struggles, like he just said. Living in the present. There's too much. There's too much pressure of what you're gonna do, what you're gonna be. Just like there's pressure of, who's gonna watch your kid. I've thought about that. They've asked me, who's gonna watch your kid? Who's,
The Ivan.
where are you gonna take them to kindergarten at? Where are you gonna take them to preschool? What are you gonna do about this? What are you gonna do if he gets sick? How are you gonna afford a kid? All those, I can't think about that. Is because
stressed already.
Yeah, so you're already putting too much stress on your mind.
Yeah.
Just, I'll take it day by day when my baby gets here. And I tell Dom, we drove a couple of preschools, and she
Already? Damn.
no, but we were just talking. We drove by like on the way. We saw him right here close by.
Gotcha.
And she's like, "Oh, I wonder if I should go in there and talk to him and shit, just in case, because as my brother, he might want to take care of my kid on my day off. There might be something he has to do that day, and it's not his responsibility; it's mine. So at the end of the day, we got to take initiative and be like, okay, well, let's have somewhere where we can take them, but we also got to trust those people, So, but I told her, like, don't start getting that all into your brain. Once we get there, we'll figure it out and we'll go check. Because if you start putting all this stuff, you're already getting stressed out over stuff that you can't even control because it's not here yet. You know what I'm saying? And we do that every day. I was terrible at that. Interviews, issues at work, even small issues at work, like maybe someone said to you something in a certain way and you start thinking like, this fool mad at me or something, like, what did I do? but it could be the dude's just having a bad day,
Yeah.
and he didn't even fucking mean it. And as soon as you left off, it's like he didn't
And
even
if you
think
tell
twice about
him-
it, you know?
And if you tell him, he'll be like,
Yeah.
"What? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like, you tell him the next day, like, hey, I don't like the way, you know, this felt wrong. Like, you know, did I do something wrong? And he's like, what? It's like, no, man, that's like, it's just how I am, or it's just how I talk, you know. But you're sitting there all day or 2 days later, like, fuck, you know, what did he mean
Still
by
mad
that?
about
You
it
know,
and
what,
shit,
yeah,
huh?
what did he mean by that? You know, so you know, just take everything like you said, a grain of salt. You know, however people act towards you, whatever is going on in the day, all you can do is just take it as you go. Don't hold
Mhm.
anything on too long. You know, for the job that I have, I held stuff on overnight where I couldn't even sleep at times because I was thinking, how am I going to solve the problem? I work hourly, bro. I'll solve the problem when I'm there, you know? When I'm there,
Yeah.
I'll get back to solving the
Yeah,
problem.
that's right.
But when I'm off, I don't have to.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
their
know?
problem. I don't have to worry about the
Yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we forget in our lives. And especially people that care a lot about what they do or who they are, you're going to take that with you, you know? But you got to talk to yourself and just shut it off. You got to shut it off. You know, I'm at home, I'm with my wife, I'm with my kids, or I'm with my girlfriend, or, you know, I'm just by myself. Why am I thinking about this? Let me clear my head, go about my day, enjoy the moment where I'm at right now. You know, you don't want to be at the fights in Mexico watching MMA thinking about fucking,
Yeah.
fuck, do I got to fill out those papers next week? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
yeah.
for?
Yeah.
You
So-
can't fill them out right there. You're gonna take out a pen and fucking fill it out, right?
So that's
So-
been been an exercise because I was for a few weeks I was just sitting in my house, like going to the gym, coming back, and going on the computer and just finishing work because I don't want to be piled up. I've had a lot of bad experiences of procrastination, but I think that fear of procrastination makes me want to do everything at the moment, you know. And so I spent a lot of time indoors, or like I was getting my physical activity and everything, but I wasn't getting my social aspect, you know, and I need to go out and socialize. So, you know, that's what I've been doing, going to the music shows with Jimmy, you know, someone that I can trust. And then I don't feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't have this was obviously not gonna fucking leave me if shit goes
Yeah.
down, they're gonna wait for me or something happens,
piss
you
them
know.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like they're good people too, they chill. Yeah, him and Mariela, and they know the ins and
Yeah, that's
outs
cool.
around there. So we went to go
Street
try.
smarts.
Talking about that, we went to go try this. It's called the Marine Bar, and we went in there. Like the thing is they have a raw tuna, and then it's a tuna bar, and they have raw tuna and also smoked tuna, and
Ooh.
they serve the IPAs right there. So man, it was delicious,
Yeah.
man, delicious.
Delish, bro. Hell
Yeah. It was a
What's
good
up?
spot, and they had their reggae tunes going, and I was like, yeah, dude,
Ooh,
that's what I needed.
reggae
Just
night
go
or
down,
what?
go down
Reggae
to
or
the
reggaeton.
no reggae, and they had
okay.
they had the good hits, you know, not the mainstream.
Yeah.
They had the good
Not the mainstream.
hits.
What you mean?
Yeah,
No
yeah,
Bob
yeah.
Marley?
No Bob Marley.
Yeah, but not his
Yeah,
lesser
Bob
known
Marley's always
tracks,
classic, bro. Yeah.
his lesser known
His Bob
tracks, you
Marley.
know. But
Yeah.
it was good. It was good right there. I was like, that's what I need to go down to the pub with my friends, just enjoy.
Fuck, you know,
I had a brew
er-
and I went home
Bro.
and it was
Yeah.
good. I just all I needed, just one brew, just to wash it down with the mariscos.
Sometimes
and it
you
was
only need
good.
one, yeah.
exactly. Everything's gonna take its course, Daniel. You'll be all right.
Yes.
You know, just take it day by
Mhm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be all right. If you need anything, let us know. We'll help you.
No, Danny. Quit messing around with it.
We'll set you up for success, not failure. What do we got for
Other
what's
than
hot
that-
in the streets today? We're a little backed up. Let's catch up. We do a lot of the what's going on in the streets. Bro, I've been watching American Idol. Shoo, man. I never,
Yeah,
you know
you had
what?
to say that shit
Fucking
on-
before
fake.
you
They
hate-
knew
before-
who was
before-
gonna win American Idol.
Before you, well, they haven't even won yet. Hold on. Before you start hating, I never watched American Idol. Like I probably seen like one before or something. But this season, there's a lot of good voices, dude. That's gay?
Yeah.
Oh, but- nah, but
You said it, bro.
Sure.
it's going down though. It's going down. It's a good show. Everyone,
It's a good
catch up.
show. All right.
Catch up.
I
people.
believe
Because
you.
that's what
I
happens. That's
believe
what happens
you.
when you become a daddy. You start
Gotta
watching
clutch
American
it.
Idol.
Yeah.
Gotta find way to entertain your kids. Nah, just kidding.
Bro, I wish I could sing.
You seen the
on,
shower,
on
bro.
a good note, China
Still
is
material.
reportedly considering jumpstarting tariff negotiations with offers to crack down on the export of fentanyl ingredients. So the big problem with fentanyl was that it was coming from China. So
Oh, yeah.
there was like it was coming from China and it was getting picked up in Mexico, and then from Mexico it was coming in through here, and so then we'd see what the tariffs are doing. You know, I guess a positive side, because it's like if they're offering to crack down on it, that means that they're trying to avoid.
Thank you, Mr.
They're
Trump.
they're trying to avoid repercussions.
Wait, I got confused.
Okay.
China
Yeah.
is trying to
'Cause they're,
investigate the fentanyl that they're sending.
Yes.
So they're
because
trying
of
to,
the taxes.
Like, okay, so it's kind of like we'll crack down on fentanyl if you take it easy on the taxes. Is that what they're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're only doing it because of the taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Before
Yes.
they're trying to kill us. Anyway,
So-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. So they were letting
Oh,
it
yeah.
happen
Okay.
because that's part of the economy.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Is it though, or is it part of the? So fentanyl that's getting sent to Mexico, is that government fentanyl, or is it just like drug lord fentanyl? Or
Okay.
both?
okay, it's
They're
like
supposed
it's like
to. They're
think
supposed
about
to. Oh, okay, go
Seriously.
ahead.
think about the Mexicans and how they're the same politicians are intertwined in the same government or
Yeah.
intertwined. Whether they're not deliberately working on it with each other, they're intertwined, you know, so they coexist.
Okay.
So I think they coexist over there the same way. And there's rich people that probably make their funds like, oh, I also own a chemical manufacturing business, but I can also make fentanyl. But
Yeah.
this wealthy business owner is a mogul and he invests a lot of money into the country. Why would I investigate him as a country if that's like my source of income? Things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you think
You know?
about it, fentanyl, it's sent to Mexico to be brought over here, right?
Yeah.
China doesn't
Yeah.
like us, right? So you wouldn't think that would be a good way for them to attack us without attacking us militarily, you know, by fucking flooding as much fentanyl over here as possible so we fucking
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
And
That'd be another point. But hold on. But now that they're putting the tariffs on there, now they're starting to give a shit like, oh fuck, they're taking our money away. But before it wasn't an issue. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And it's probably like, you know, maybe they're not deliberately sitting, or who knows, maybe they are deliberately sitting in a table like saying, all right, this is what we're going to do. But even if the government is just putting a blind eye to it, it's like Mexico
Yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah.
Like all the crackdowns that are happening. The crackdowns that are happening aren't because they wanted to do anything about it. It's because now there's pressure being applied from different
Somebody's
different
losing money somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they're like,
somebody's
hey,
fucking pockets are getting
the United States is saying that they want to come into Mexico, and now they're pressing the issue, you know. So if the statistics don't go down, or something is done about all of the turmoil that they're causing, that the cartels are causing, then like they're gonna internally regulate themselves, you know, without
they'll get rid
causing
of them
too much
somehow.
attention. Yeah. To present to you like a little
Just so they-
scapegoat, like, hey, we're gonna calm this down, but all right, like kind of it's
So like what they
caliente.
did to El Chapo.
It's hot.
El
Yeah.
Chapo, he became the fucking scapegoat. Pretty much.
What's up with that deal
What
that
deal?
Trump made with his son to bring him to the U.S.?
Oh, I heard he made some
What's
kind of
up?
deal, but
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
haven't
it
read up
was.
on that.
You know anything about that, bro?
No,
We gotta
I
follow
haven't
up
heard
on that.
We'll
anything
follow
about
up
that.
on that.
Yeah,
We'll bring that out.
We'll bring that one next
I
time.
just heard that a couple of days ago, actually.
Yeah.
But then a lot of family members, they turned themselves in too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Supposedly
because
the
everybody's
ex-wife turned herself in. Oh,
A lot of these
getting
people are getting
and
killed.
That's why.
Yeah.
getting.
That's right. That's right.
Let's-
Oh shit.
Let's talk about this one. I know Yvonne's gonna love this one.
No, Jesus.
So you know the immigration thing going on right now with Trump and
Uh-oh.
you know getting all of the illegals out of the U.S. but bringing the white people from Africa into the U.S. My thing is why are they doing it, and why is that okay? Let's see.
Okay, you want me to start?
Go ahead.
From what I understand, there, of course, there's media that puts shit out there that is true and there is not true. We understand that, right?
Yeah,
We agree on that.
of course. Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on in South Africa? Because over there, I guess what apartheid is, long shitty history. I guess some country, I don't know if it was the Dutch or fucking one of those countries, they went and settled in South Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
in doing so, they made their own laws and they started treating the citizen the natives there as second class citizens. You know, and their way that in their even though they were the minority, I don't understand fucking how that you know the minorities just take over like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
have
they
more
just found a way
resources.
to take over they found a way to take over the country, but then in doing so, they enslaved the African people. And they did that for many years. They were killing them. I think they were hanging them too. Like, it's just bad shit.
Yeah.
So now, I guess there's a government that got elected where the black people are fucking taking over, but they're like fucking, from what I hear, they're slaughtering people. Like, they're just like the white people back then did to them.
Yeah.
To the
They're reversing it.
They're reversing it.
The Uno reverse.
Yeah, they're doing it, but they're blaming it just fucking. So that's why I hear. That's why they're bringing them over. You know, I mean, evil against evil. I mean, you don't fix evil with evil, obviously. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. You know, so that's what I understand from that perspective. Now, when it compares to like illegals, you said comparing illegals, criminal illegals or illegals that are coming over here to actually better themselves.
I'm talking about any illegals because at this point we're at a point where if you're an illegal, whether you did a crime or not, you're getting sent back to your
Okay. So the difference, I think, with the countries that they're coming from, they are getting slaughtered.
Yeah, because if you look at
starved or fucking just assassinated,
Salvador, Cuba, or whatever, they got their own issues over there where they're not getting fed, or they can't afford work. They have their own criminal organizations over there. So everybody has a situation that's not good,
right?
That's the point. You're coming to the U.S.,
right?
So focusing on one kind of people and leaving everybody out.
Maybe it's just a case of there's fucking there's too many fucking South Americans coming over here. Hey, what about these white people? Let's help the minority for once. It might be that it's kind of hard to pinpoint. It's not hard to compare, but fuck, it's not a simple answer on those types of things, because every situation, like you said, every situation is different. Yeah. There's different circumstances in every country. Some countries, they just the people just never got together to form their revolution to take over and do what they need to do in order for make the country better for them. That's easier said than done, obviously. But it's global politics is it's crazy. I don't know.
Daniel, what do you think about it? And have you heard about this or no?
Yeah, about the South African. I didn't know that they were actually killing people. But
supposedly, yeah. They're from people. You know how in North Korea they don't fucking let out the media and shit, and obviously it's not North Korea over there, but they were doing something where the information wasn't really getting out or something like that of that sort. But apparently that's been happening. I don't know. I haven't confirmed.
Okay, say that was going on, Daniel. Do you think it's still right?
I just think that sometimes you're more willing to help. Sometimes you're more willing to help people that are the same color as your skin.
Some type of people.
Yeah, and that could be that.
Go.
That's the same thing happened. The same thing happened with Ukraine. But
yeah,
we're just not exposed. We're more exposed to colored people running around from South America, which we think that they should stay down there. Whereas we're more welcoming to European.
And to be honest, but I kind of it sucks. I'll be real. It sucks that they're going through. Everybody's fucking going through that shit, and I do. And if there's anything I can do to bring awareness, to that whatever's going on, I will. But to dwell on that too much is it's not good for you. You know what I mean? There's folks, like on Facebook, and it's all they fucking do all day, dwelling on. That's why I had to get off social media, because there's just so much fucking bad shit. I was like, ugh, it's too much. So, but it's fucked up. It's fucked up. That's been,
Yeah, it's all fucked up. This whole world is fucked up. Daniel, what's next? What you got?
That's why Danny's a light.
That's
he light and joy.
Damn.
And Daniel.
Okay, the next one was, Elon Musk is starting. The Elon Musk Starbase has officially been voted to become a city in the state of Texas.
City.
Wait, you said Starbase? I thought it was going to be a fucking place in space. Oh, but in Texas?
Yeah.
He's going to have his own city in Texas?
Yeah. So he could continue sending. so he
Oh.
could continue sending spaceships and other things up into the sky.
Katy Perry.
Well, what does that got to do with having your own city, though?
Well, you probably need a space big
Oh, that
enough.
was-
If you get a whole space big enough to get dedicated.
I was making a whole city. Cause basically, probably you're just gonna make like a whole base, no, like a whole
Yeah.
military base, but due to
But you got to make it a
Elon
city
Musk.
so that different tax. Maybe you got to
Oh.
do something with the tax.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, so it has its own hospital, its own police department, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, pay your
Yeah.
taxes, Elon. Skip.
The election
Awesome.
results
Everybody
showed
skimmed.
Starbase in Texas
What?
is now a real city. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
gonna buy some land there or what? Cheap housing?
Fuck no.
Isn't that from
Who
South
knows what that
Africa?
lands
God
is.
damn it. What is going on here?
No,
We're not even
Ooh,
American
the
and shit. He's
homeland-
buying
the
fucking- he made his own
homeland-
city.
The
right?
Department
even
of
get a
Homeland
fucking
Security announced
business
a
card.
plan to pay illegal immigrants $1,000 to self-deport. DHS estimates the total cost to arrest, detain, and deport an individual is over $17,000. The deportation process is also lengthy, sometimes taking years and repeated court appearances before a deportation. Without a major change, it appears to be impossible for Trump to hit his deportation goals.
That's just
There
hard.
shouldn't be goals. There should be goals to get rid of the bad people. But other than
See,
that, no.
That's the problem.
Ugh.
The goals,
Yes.
right? It's like,
What's
and I was listening to another podcast talk about it. It's like, having cop quotas. We want you to have a certain amount of speeding tickets by the end of the week. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go look for it, or even 1 mile over, you're gonna stop them, which is still bad. But now you're fishing, and you run into more trouble. So like Ivan said, numbers. When you have numbers like that and goals, it's not good, because then people start going. They find loopholes now. They're gonna do what they got to do to
treating
meet
us like
the quota.
numbers.
Yeah, they got to do what they got to do to meet that quota. First, it started with people with crimes, but people with crimes isn't gonna get us to that number. So what do? We get the next people. Didn't fucking hit the turn signal when they turned right. So fucking let's take them too. Let's take people at their jobs. They're not paying taxes supposedly. Let's take them, and you start grabbing all these people, and all these people are they got families, kids, and it's just wrong. They shouldn't do that. I think they should vouch away from having numbers like that. They should just do. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and what we can get, and that's that. There's no goals, no quota, and that's what it should be. But I'm not in the government.
Then you I don't know. I guess people are gonna say then you have the people that just don't do anything. But I'm sure it's because fucking
You're always
regulation
gonna
takes
get
so
that.
much. Regulation
No,
costs
but
money.
One thing I will say is, it might be comparing. I hope it's not comparing apples and oranges. But if you were to commit a crime here, you were going to get arrested, correct?
It depends on the crime, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if coming into this country illegally is a crime, correct?
Yes.
Knowingly or not knowingly, it's still a crime, correct?
Yes.
So if you're found out to be illegal and you get deported, it's because you committed a crime, correct? Not that you're a criminal. There's differences as being a criminal and committing a crime.
Yeah.
You still have to pay for those consequences, as fucked up as they are. You know what I mean? And I had to pay for my DUI. Donnie, had to pay for whatever he did. You had to pay for whatever you did. That's responsibility. Is it right to fucking deport them? No. But technically they are, should they get deported? No, because a lot of them, they're hardworking people. A lot of folks that we know, they came here legally and they're productive members of society. They're great people. Nothing against them, or nothing against people in general. It's just technically they have committed a crime. People don't see that aspect. Yeah, it's fucked up. That's why there's no simple answer. You can't just say it's get fucking rid of them, because no, you can't. They have families. They have lives here.
But then you have
Go
the other, I guess, the other perspective, which is that this country was founded on immigrants.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also.
so also
There's
it's like
different perspectives. Yeah.
there's people who came on a boat to this land that wasn't theirs anyways. So if this it's wrong to say no. These if you came prior to prior to
It
the
is
two
wrong. It
thousands,
is wrong.
fucking
It is
fuck you,
wrong.
you know. And I think that's where
Mm-hmm.
the two worlds meet. You know, is that people forget,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yeah.
this
And
country was
my thing
founded
is,
on.
you go on
Yeah.
TV and you say I'm the president, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go on TV. Okay. You know, we're gonna focus on all the criminals, all the the drug lords, all the malas salvatruchas, you know, all the people that are really destroying the U.S. And then you get people that were just illegal. That just did what Ivan said. Basically, it's a crime to be here illegally, so that's considered a criminal. But let's just beat it out the bush, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
the president. I'm going to say, if you're illegal and you came in this country illegally, we're going to get you. It don't matter. End of question. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it real. Keep it 100 with us, you know? Fuck it. So we don't.
Well, he's not gonna say
So
that,
why
obviously,
not, though? Why not? You're going to do it
because
anyways.
it doesn't benefit him, bro.
It doesn't benefit him, but it's going to come out in the news, right?
Well,
All these issues that are
that
coming out
and
now.
that's politics, right?
And just, I'd rather you keep it
No,
real and
it's
say,
wrong.
you know what?
It's totally fucking wrong.
Let me know so I can hide one of my cousins, you know? Tell them not to go
And
outside.
then with that example, remember that one guy that
Just kidding.
he was Mana Salva, or the guy from everybody was defending, even his wife said, came out later on that he had beaten his wife. He
Yeah.
was proven to be that guy came out on the Sean Ryan podcast, one of the guys that was working in the agency, and he said that he did get due process. The judge deported him twice. That was his due process. So, and then I've talked to people, a person that we know that has been working on the front lines, and for one, he's told me, he's pretty clean cut guy. From what he's told me, they are getting criminals, people that have already had records, because they have other, informants helping them out. So, it is. Now, of course, there's the fucking opposite side where they're deporting, they're separating families and shit. That's the ugly side. That's the side we don't fucking want to see. And yeah, but it's wrong. It's fucking wrong, and I don't have a simple answer.
No, and I do agree that there's good cops or good ICE out there that are just focusing on what they're told to focus on. But then when you have
abusers,
when you have quota numbers and shit like that, then what's next, right? So that's just the thing, just say it as it is my thing.
Yeah,
do that.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Daniel.
There yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Marina El Pilar, the governor of Mexicali and the governor of Baja California, got her visa revoked.
What?
Oh yeah,
yeah, she got her visa
serious?
revoked. Yeah, and so
wait, to where? Over here?
the US,
yeah.
Oh shit!
Because she's being investigated. And so they're
Really?
cracking down on a lot. Okay, so let me give you a perspective on how Mexicali's changed a lot. And Mexicali has changed a lot because of who was let to operate in the city. So a certain organization, from a certain place,
Gotcha.
comes over and said, "All right, we're the ones that are controlling this region, so we're the new guys in town." And they've been running the politicians who've been letting them run it have been changing Mexicali to the point that they're now asking businesses. They're racketeering, a lot of racketeering, which is
racketeering. The government is, right?
But the businesses they're killing people for not paying business quotas, and there's people that have like hardworking people, and now it's been fucked up.
I see.
In the crime aspect, and people are not feeling safe to the point that they did a carne asada in front of 5,000 people. A lot of people from the region came and had a carne asada outside of the government building for the whole night, and the government even turned off the lights. Yeah, they all got together and did a carne asada. And a lot of artists were even coming in, and a lot of artists. Now that I'm going.
What
out
was
with
the purpose of that though?
To get the governor out of the seat because of how the city's being become. Yeah,
with a barbecue.
It's so fucking polluted. The city's so fucking polluted.
Yeah. Like and now, before, I'm not saying fucking Mexicali was the safest city in the world, but it's changed a lot.
Yeah,
It's changed a lot, and it's changed the way you got to navigate. And for a while, it was getting really, really bad. So people are getting tired of it, and so that was really cool. There was really rare that you see people from Mex get together with a
Yeah.
cause, because I think that there's a big city culture to where everybody's for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
my understanding was Mexico when we were young was a free zone. It was not run by cartel. The reason being it was a border town, and it was a way to cross the border, their stuff through the border. So that's all it was, different cartels could send their stuff to the border, but nobody owned it. Because if somebody owned it, then they would tax the other people trying to cross stuff, and then it would become an issue, right? It'd be a war. So
Yeah.
it was a free zone. It wasn't like TJ. TJ was specifically owned by somebody. So that's how it used to be. It was a free zone. Anybody could cross their stuff, and that's what it was. But now I heard that these new people came in and said, no, now we're running Mexicali. So that's
And
what's
it's
creating all
militant.
these fucking
And they're
that's what's creating
militant.
all this fucking murders and shit like that.
They murdered
Because-
everybody. Everybody who didn't want to align with them is now dead,
Exactly.
or they left
Yeah.
Mexicali. Mexicali got completely cleaned up from whoever was there, and they're militants. That's why now you see a different kind of police force. You see, there's a different kind of police force in Mexicali now.
That's more
And
militant,
so-
right? To
yeah.
fucking fight their asses, right?
Yeah, because there's been a lot of more frequently enfrentamientos. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
Shootouts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Been a lot of crazy shit.
And
Alright.
so
Well, here in fucking
so
Vegas, there was
this-
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
this was a turning point for because not even the president tried to protect her. The president, I didn't even acknowledge her name in the press when she talked about the incident. So they all turned their back on her because she got caught. She got too cocky.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they let each other run amok, but everybody in their own zone, and you gotta kind of don't shit where you eat kind of thing.
Just to a certain point, yeah.
Mm-hmm. To a certain point, exactly. And then you start getting greedy with. So both her husband got their visas revoked. So the people want her out.
Yeah.
Crooked fucks. Hope you rot.
Jeez.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
Daniel,
it's
anything
terrible.
else, or we're good?
No,
Yeah,
I got some
fuck,
more.
what do you mean, jeez? Fucking the people over, bro. Fuck this shit.
Jeez.
Sick of that shit. Oh, sorry, bro.
Oh,
Let
the
me-
real ID.
There
You
you
gotta
are.
get your real ID.
Ooh, I got mine already. Nevada.
Man, fuck all that.
You guys lagging it,
I
bro.
know,
I'm about
dude.
to
You
get
won't
in
be
the
able to
real
fly. No fly zone,
Suckers.
No fly zone. I think it's better not to fly right now. Anyways, they gotta keep their ID.
Now, come on.
dude.
Shits are going down
There
left
was
and right.
there was a court AI gave they gave a first AI testimony victim statement. Like, you know how the victim can give a statement.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they killed some guy, right? And so they used AI and they interviewed the family about how he was, and they recreated him using artificial intelligence, and then they made him say a victim statement to the guy who murdered him.
Oh, okay. I get what they did. So they used the family kind of to portray who this guy was.
Yeah.
And then they turned that into an AI,
Yeah.
like it was the guy himself telling
Yeah.
him.
Who killed him?
Yeah.
yeah.
What the fuck?
And it says in the
Nah,
AI
you're
generated
tripping, bro.
in the AI generated
Nah.
it's the first of its kind.
God
And this
damn.
the victim
We're
was
all going
shot
to
in
hell, bro.
Arizona in 2021 after getting his car to confront another driver while stopped at the red light.
Damn, over some bullshit too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so imagine seeing you're in court, you killed somebody, and then you're looking at an AI video of the guy you killed talking to you and telling you.
That's from futuristic. That's
all the
some
shit you
Blade
did.
Runner shit.
God, bro.
Blade
That's
Runner
that
shit,
haunt
man.
me in my fucking dreams.
I'm dying.
Damn. And let's go back to the real ID though. It's nonsense.
What you mean?
Bro, it's just
the future,
it's just
bro.
another fucking thing that they want to do to fucking tax
I
people
know.
on.
Of course.
is,
I didn't say it was a good
That's
idea.
enough.
I
They
just
gotta-
said I had mine. Fuck. Sorry.
Why'd you go get it? Who said you
What
go
you
get
mean?
it?
Well, I had to fucking have a license here.
You ain't
to
going
fucking-
nowhere.
What you mean? I ain't going nowhere? I'm not a California. I'm not a California resident anymore.
No, you're a Nevada resident.
Well, at least you don't have to
Official.
get it. Well, you have to get it if you want to fly.
Well, I got my passport. That still works.
Well, does that work
Until
instead
it
of the real
expires.
ID?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
still works.
So I didn't get my passport card.
Okay,
So
then
you don't need
I'll
to
just use
realize
gotta
if
order
you
that
have a passport
shit.
to fly. Yeah.
Order a Santry too.
Don't waste your money, Daniel.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
done.
dude.
I need to go to the consulate, bro. I still need to go to the consulate. I've been fucking slacking, man. Get
Yeah,
that
needs to be
fucking
a
that dual citizenship.
Mexican
Oh,
citizenship.
the lady, after I got my passport, the lady forgot to charge me for the passport, and they didn't charge me for the services, and so like
Are
I
you
left,
serious?
and I didn't remember because I got home and I put my
I
didn't remember
that. I didn't remember it.
She didn't
You
ask me
remember
for
now,
anything.
huh?
I said, hey, is that
Are we
it?
good? He said,
Are
I
we
said,
good?
I stole. I said, it's all. All right. She said,
It's
yep.
todo.
I asked, it's all. All right, cool. So I was on my
He's a
way,
handsome fella.
and so I left. I left, and then I
Shit,
went.
bro.
And then I got in the
This
car,
fool.
and then all of a sudden I was at the gym, and then I started getting a bunch of
Already
calls,
stealing
and then
the
it was
buggy.
like it said the consulate, and I was like, fuck, I
Pay me,
fucking
fool.
damn. Because when I got home, I
You
was like trying to get
rejected,
to the
bro.
gym already, because I had spent a good total of like 3 hours doing all the paperwork and everything, because like waiting and everything. I was doing all the paperwork, and I was like, man, fuck that, dude. I'm not going back. I'll go back tomorrow, dude. If they continue calling me, I'll go back tomorrow. And so
So
finally
you
they
went to the
called my
office
mom.
and you were there for 3 hours?
Yeah. There was because I had to do other paperwork also, and there was a lot of
Did
people.
you get your passport then and there or no?
Yeah, I got my passport in there.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
Fast pass.
And
Fast
so
pass.
she was like, they were like calling her, and then eventually he got a hold of my mom, and they're like, hey, he needs to pay or else he's gonna get his thing revoked.
Oh, so
I
they
was like,
fucking
yeah, they hunt me down
Come
because I
on,
guess
bro.
you know how the bosses are. If the bosses are bad here, man, and I'm sure she got threatened with her job. Because when I
For
got
sure,
there,
huh?
she was
Yeah.
so embarrassed. I was like, I mean,
Oh really?
I had gone to sleep late, so then I woke up late, and I just had a bunch of missed calls, and I was like, yeah, I'll go over there. I'm just gonna hop in the shower, go get you your money.
Take your sweet time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
Because I was
they'll
like,
forget.
man,
You took care of
Oh
it.
shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
bugging
but
me and shit. I don't,
you
I don't
know,
want to be a
yeah.
citizen that bad, huh? Leave me alone and shit.
Seriously, that's why I was
Don't
like,
you see what's
what
going-
the fuck, man?
Don't you
It's
see what's
not
going
my-
on in Mexicali?
Not my
Yeah.
problem. Hey man,
All
you know
right.
if you don't fucking forget, if you forget to pay them, they fucking charge you
No
a fee.
shit, bro. It's like
Fuck them.
garnishing wages and shit, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Tell
Yeah.
me.
You know, so I
All
don't
right,
to, man.
Daniel.
So
All right, we're good.
Yes, sir.
We're good, Chewini. All right, Daniel.
Talk all day, but we're
Enjoy your Sunday fun day.
good. No, Danny.
peace.
Sunday, wind
I'm
down.
gonna go.
All right, we're out of here, fellas.
All right. Love
Talk
you
to you
guys.
later. Love you,
Listen to
Daniel.
us always.
See ya.
Peace.
Get off your phone.
Peace.
Wash your
Hollywood.
ass later.
Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all. But who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get it retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop till like 6 in the morning.